Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Deanna. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, or tomorrow in my retrospect, and yesterday I suppose for you. Well, actually it might not be yesterday because it might be the same day. It's yesterday if you're in the UK, I suppose. Anyway, that's not the point. Hello. What does Isabel say? Good evening, everyone. Right now it's 5:46 p.m. on Sunday, the 2nd of July, 2023, where we are having a pre-recorded episode. Because I am too busy being at a concert right now, so for most of the day I will not be in. So here we go, pre-recorded. We're doing Happy in Paradise, which we've not done for ages, but we're still going to abide by the same sort of things that we've done before of rapid fire decorating, because you know it's just how I feel about Happy in Paradise nowadays. You know, I'm like, head empty, decorate. Let's not think too much about it. Let's not be too invested in what we're doing. It's just sort of like whatever's there, throw it down. That's the way she blows. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a particular thematic I've got in mind. Who we got? We got Iggy. We got Grizzly. Is that your name? I don't remember. We got Zell. What's your name? I should know your name. Ike. So I don't remember what any of these actual customizations are. As I always said, it's been a while. I forgot. So we'll just sort of see what takes our fancy. And I'm gonna be honest, I ain't going to be doing anything particularly fancy, probably. I'm very much, you know, I don't know. Like Happy in Paradise, I both find it fun, but also, you know, I just kind of wish there were more prompts, you know. I know it's a pretty tall order to be like, hey, Nintendo, can you come up with 400 unique individual prompts? In which case I'd be like, yeah, but I suppose it's once you've done like 100 or so. I've done is like a lot of them tend to blur together. Like we've done both of these sort of prompts before. And it's just like okay, well, I mean, you specifically asked for us. Aren't you like you want like an apartment or something? I feel like we've seen you around before, Lobo. But I suppose once you've done like 100 and something of them, you know, the flaws of Happy in Paradise become more apparent. And since there's not really many unique themes anymore, which I haven't necessarily covered, that's why. Oh, retro residence. Which is, you know, that's not to say it's not a bad game, because I mean 100 something customizations is way too many customizations. This is like, you know, that's far more than I think the average person would ever do. So for me to judge it, I think is coming at it from a false pretense in the first place. I don't really know where to put you. I was thinking of just putting you like in a desert area, like you'd be like a retro sort of like casino location or something. I don't know. The outside's not very important, I think, for your deco. So we'll keep it simple, stupid, as they say. But yeah, we'll just be relaxing over a bit of Happy in Paradise. We'll put down whatever. I don't really know necessarily how retro is, so we got to figure it out. As I sip some water. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what sort of time period we're talking here for retro. I don't know what retro would be considered real life. I guess 60s to 80s. Well, I don't know if 80s would be considered retro, but certainly I would say 60s and 70s both I would consider retro. Whether they are retro or not, I don't know. And then vintage would be like 20s and 30s. So what happened to 40s and 50s? I don't know. Maybe that's also retro. So yeah. Let's just have a look-see, of course, before we decide how large we want to make this. It screams to me that we want things to be small and cozy and cute, I think. Because I don't really know how many retro sort of things we have. I mean, a lot of these aren't really retro. They're kind of more like old-fashioned, aren't they? Like very, very much old school, I would say. But all right. I mean, I guess that's kind of retro, isn't it? I mean, it's called retro flower print. I think I kind of want a brown aesthetic though. Like, I get that these are called retro. Oh, I don't know. That's so gaudy. I kind of like it. I don't know if I want green as the aesthetic though. So we're going to have a look-see to see if we can find something a bit more in keeping of what I have in mind. But that's the only retro ward. I mean, that's kind of retro. I mean, that's more like disco. Okay, fine. Seeing as it's retro, there's no better time to use a retro ward. Let's see for retro flooring, if there's a different colour. There's a green one. Okay, you know, it's kind of hideously bright and vibrant, but I think that's kind of a point. I think I kind of like it like that. I'm not particularly convinced we need anything better than bigger than a 6x6, because there's just really not a lot of room actually to work with. We can't actually make these pop out a little bit more from the ground, so I kind of wanted to make everything a dark brown. If we make it all light brown, it's going to just meld in together, I think. So Is that a massage chair as well? I don't know. Okay, what other sort of retro things? Let's just toss down some retro things, which I'm like, yes, this has to be here. Antiques, not really. Okay, yes, absolutely vintage TV tray. I know it's vintage, not retro, but whatever's. I guess that might blend into. I think that blends in too much. I kind of want dark brown as a theming. Oh, maybe green's fine. Like, I think Lobo would be watching like eating like a TV dinner or something while watching TV. That's my sort of hunch. I don't really know what a retro apartment looks like, so there's only so much I think I can necessarily know. But this is what I had in mind when back here we'd have like a wardrobe or something, like, or a bookcase. That's a really good idea. Dark brown makes it kind of look more vintage, I think, then. Or makes it look more antique. Which, I kind of want like a mid-brown. So I think we'll go with that. That looks kind of retro-y. God, this colour combination is just like crazy. I think a house plant in the corner here feels reasonable. A light? A street lamp? Street lamp. Okay, we'll give you like a futon, I think, for a bedroom. We'll give you a tiny bedroom, you know. Let's not have a studio apartment. I don't know. I just kind of associate studio apartments with being a lot more modern than not. I don't know if that's necessarily true. It's just what I think, you know. So we'll give you a nice little futon to sleep on. I guess we'll make it green. I guess green and orange are our main colorations. So it's not a lot of space for your tiny little sleeping area, but it's probably okay. We're allowed to give you more. I guess we could give you more if we gave you the room down here instead. Probably makes a bit more sense. So then you can actually, you know, have a proper bedroom, I would say, which not necessarily the most important thing in the world, but it certainly, I think, adds to the atmosphere of it. I kind of want to give you like a desk. I don't really know what to put here. I guess I'll make this like a cloakroom. A loom? I don't know why you put a loom there. You can't really reach around the back of it. Okay, what if we put the bookshelves over here? We just made it like a mini library where you stored books and things like that. I think that's at least unique enough because I don't think I've done something like that before. I guess we'll use the antique console table because that's like the only one you've got as an option. Or maybe we can put the writing desk over here. This is like where you work. I mean, retro massage chair is nice of that, but I don't think it makes sense for all of it to be a retro massage chair. A diner chair probably makes no sense not in a diner. It's too big a mix, I think, using a non-antique chair for this. So maybe that's something you thrifted. You know, maybe you're just like ironically using retro fashion in your retro things, just, you know, retro relative to the time that this is set in, rather than otherwise. Does that make sense? A banker's lamp. This feels like a retro library sort of thing. I guess we'll stick with green. We might do orange because I think orange and that will probably pop a bit more than green. Green kind of blends in a bit too much. But a typewriter, yeah, that's probably more vintage than retro, but still. That we can make green. That looks like a different enough shade. But I think it pops. And part of me kind of wants this TV set to be this way around, to be honest. Maybe that's crazy of me, but something like this. I kind of want to like put a rug down. Do you have like a retro rug? Retro dotted rug? I guess we can go with it. It's a bit big. I kind of want a smaller one. I don't know if it is a smaller retro one, so we might just have to go with like... Oh, avocado is a bit too dark, I think. I do want like a patterned one, but I want like a 2x3 or something. Or 2x2. Like, these are all too big, aren't they? Kitchen mat? No, I want a 3x2 rug. A round rug might be okay as well. Which of these has a sort of retro energy? Like a fruit one? That feels kind of retro to me. Bone entrance mat. Something just feels like cheesy. Record. Go put your record on. Might be a bit too big though, we'll see though. That does feel a bit big. Maybe that's okay. Okay, I think we'll roll with it like that, and then we'll just put pillars down to give a bit of delineation, I think. For this room, the classic room effect. So like this, and then we can put the fan maybe over here. Because maybe it's super hot in here, you like to cool down. Then over here in the corner, things are going to be quite crammed in here, but that's, I think, kind of a point. Ah, rotary phone, that's a really good idea. So there's a radio. So there's a record box, actually. Okay, we're going to put, instead, a small table, I think, over here. I guess if we're using antique stuff, we might as well use the antique table. I'm surprised the throwback furniture items were not recommended. These feel like they're pretty, like, retro to me, but hey, what do I know? I suppose it sort of depends on your view on what's retro and what isn't. But I like the idea of a rotary telephone, which is not something I've seen for like years, I'm going to be honest. I want to use it green because green feels the most retro to me, but I don't think it pops enough from the wall. So I think we might have to go with the orange. That kind of blends in too much as well, to be honest. Okay, we're going to go back to green. So something like that. And then we just need like ambient decorative things around the place, I think. Like I can see a sturdy sewing box. You just sort of like keep that in the corner. By the, maybe over here. So it's not, no, I think we need something larger. Grandfather clock is definitely far too old. Spinning wheel? No, I mean, we've kind of built up the idea that you're like a writer or an author or something. So I think we'll have to roll with that. There's a good thing that this tube is grey. It gives a nice sort of outline to a green and actually makes it stand out a bit more. But I do want to give you like a lamp. Not a street lamp, that's obviously ridiculous, but some sort of indoor lighting fixture. Which of these feels the most retro? I guess a rocket lamp's pretty, like, groovy. Kind of retro. There's no orange? What? Okay, we'll have to go green, I guess. There's very much in 60s retro. And then maybe like a plant, I think. I don't know if any of these necessarily feel more retro than something else, but I'm inclined to go with the fan palm. For some reason in my mind that just feels the most retro. I don't really know if it is or not. I don't really like that green, actually. I think we might just go with the brown. Something like that. And then so that's your writing corner. I kind of want to put like a coat stand here or something, but I don't remember where a coat stand is. It might be a bit difficult to find, but even though it's going to protrude from a corner, I think it will work out quite nicely. Wow, this is quite retro. Well, it's not going to be in these systems. I don't know why I'm still looking here. Is it called a hat stand? I'm just trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called a hat stand. Let's take a gamble. No, it's probably called a coat stand. I don't see it alphabetically here. Okay, coat stand. C. Candy's close to coat. Coat. It's not called a coat stand? What's it called? Must be called something else then. New Horizons coat stand. Not coat. Iron hanger stand, okay. It's a little bit of a difficult one, I think, to necessarily procure the name out of nowhere, but we're going to go with this. Black or white? I guess I'll do white. It's not always black or white. I didn't want to make that red. Green polka dots. Something like that. Protrudes out a little bit, but I still think it's fine. Or maybe we could do something like this. No. I think that's better in the corner. And then I do want it to be a bit darker around here. So I think that maybe it should be more like this. And I just want to put something on the ground here. I don't really know what though yet. Maybe like one of these. This makes everything feel very much as like it's too lined up, which I don't love. So maybe I'm going to try and change out the layout a little bit just to make things a bit more dynamically interesting. Seems a bit silly to have a whole entire TV watching room, but you know, it's a small apartment. It's the 60s, you know, small was cute and cool. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it's an interesting layout for an apartment, though. I'll certainly give myself that. But maybe we'll get rid of a vacuum cleaner. We'll just replace it with this the lava lamp over here. Actually, I'm more inclined to put the fan over here because it makes a bit more sense to put, or it makes a bit less sense to put a light by another light. So something like this works. And actually, to break up the sort of monotony of a verticalness, I would like to rotate this. Please and thank you. To be like this. So then we're breaking up the sort of built-in line that we got up going over here. And then we want to fill in the space, I think, at the front a little bit. Let's just put a welcome mat down. Keep it simple. Like a bone entrance mat. Why not? It feels cheesy. It feels gaudy. Why not? Okay, now let's put some stuff on the wall. I don't really know what you had as wall recommended items. Let's look. Antique phone is perhaps a bit... I mean, you have a rotary phone. You don't need an antique phone. That's probably OTT. Okay, let's see what wall items you got. Diner neon clock? I can see you maybe like ironically owning this. And we put it, I don't know. I think this room's probably the most empty, so let's put it over here. What other sort of wall things would you put? Study poster, maybe. I could see maybe like some of these, some like old painting. Mum's art. Something like that, you know. This feels a bit more vintage, and I think necessarily retro, but whatever. You know, what was retro in the retro era? Vintage. So, if anything, it works out. Maybe. You're asking on like, I mean, I think Basket's kind of retro. Because I haven't seen this like for years. Then hanging from the ceiling. We might only have one. Lamp thing. I want one of these two, I think. Probably feel the most retro. I'll go with this one because the soft green I think works a bit better. We'll just have it hanging in the middle. We'll turn off lights. Nice, okay. Anything that needs a bit of a shine? Anything that needs a little bit of a twinkle in the eye? I think it'd be fun to put a bit of fuzzly bubs on the lantern. Apart from that, I don't think anything else. I will get you to wear an outfit. And I see retro coat was what was recommended, right? So I don't know why Victorian dress is necessarily recommended. That's not really retro, I would say. Victorian is very much like a far older era. But I think retro coat, yes, I think those are good choices. Make good choices in life and things like that. Let's see, let's go down to R. Because ye are who ye are. The famous Kesha song? Retro. And which colour? We do the orange one as well, but I think you might visually clash with it a little bit, so we might do something like this. Actually, that feels quite nice. Let's do this. Alright, now let's do the outside. The outside we're probably going to keep relatively simple, I think. Do our best to kind of make it look home-esque. And obviously to fit in with our orange theming, we're going to turn it at least down to afternoonish era. Probably even further down, I think. Sunset. Golden hour. Mild rain. In the desert. Who knows? Winter? What? Winter in the desert. Never really thought about it, but... Hey. Antarctica's a desert. The biggest desert in the world, in fact. Because of a ridiculously small amount of precipitation it gets. I forgot we're meant to actually customize this as well. I don't know if that's necessarily more retro. This one feels a bit more retro to me. I don't know necessarily if it is. I don't really know what retro architecture probably is meant to be like. I mean, sticker doesn't really feel that retro. Maybe this does, ever so slightly. I'm not really convinced. Maybe this one has more retro options. I don't think thatch roof does not feel retro. Stucco just in general does not feel very retro. Unless I guess we do a bright colour like this. Now that's starting to feel a bit more retro. How about that? It's kind of weird. it's how I describe it, but whatever. Fruits. Sure, why not? A fruit reef. It's got green and oranges in there. Okay, what other retro items from the outside do we have to put down? Okay, street lamps. Street lamps. People. Up and down the boulevard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Move this in one. We're gonna do the tricksy thing that we always do when we're just like we need some paths. We want to make it look like a yellow brick road. Just put down a path like this. And I think we'll have a path going up from the right here to make it even feel more like a path, but not on the left. I think I'll be fine. I didn't mean to loom. I'm going to clothesline. Seems like something you'd put out. Maybe you forgot to put away the washing. A little bit scatterbrained like that. Whether you are or you aren't, I don't really know. Green plaid, sure. Retro gas pump. I don't. You got your own personal gas pump? That seems like a bit much. Now I think about it, don't really make sense. Water pump? Okay, sure. I don't know how old we're getting here, but I would assume you need some sort of water source. Actually, let's put it down here, like you had to go down to the local for communal water pump, and you like to leave a bucket down there, maybe. What's it called? It's called wooden bucket, isn't it? I can't believe I actually remember what it's called. To fill up stuff, and maybe you, I don't know, wash clothes with it. Old fashioned. Definitely stretching the definition of retro. This is very much in the realm of old fashioned, which is far older than retro, I'd say. But whatever. Sometimes it'd be like that, you know. Maybe you got like a space heater. You got like an outdoor sitting arrangement. Let's keep this green, because that pops. You forget to turn it off because you're wasteful on the electricity front. It was the 60s, it was a different time. Not really feeling a lot of this other stuff. So maybe we'll sort of just cheat and give you a fence. I will be like, yeah, that's like retro or something, maybe. I don't know if I want to give you a green fence, to be honest. I know we're using green as like a strong defining colour for this customization, but it looks like a bit much. So maybe something like this, but you have like a bench over here or something. That's what I'm just choosing to do because I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. I don't know what a retro bench looks like necessarily. I don't know, any of these look particularly retro. Maybe this we can make look a bit retro. By just choosing really bold colours on it. I'll be honest, that kind of looks more gross than retro. I'm just going to go with a garden bench. Something like that. Shame we can't get too close to the fence. And then maybe we'll have the tiniest of terracotta paths leading yourself home. Actually, let's do it like this. And then we'll get rid of the fence here. Okay. I'm still going to put a gas pump down, I think. Just to fill up the space a little bit. Because things are a little bit empty down here. This is kind of retro that we can put down here. Maybe we just put some rocks down. I don't know what rocks are. Plants? I know rock is not a plant, but I don't know where else you would put a rock. Oh gosh, that's the wrong button. I can't remember buttons to duplicate. There we go. Duplicate. Maybe this rock goes in the corner. I'm pressing the wrong button to change its stylings. Something like that. I wouldn't use a wooden bucket to collect petrol necessarily. I'm gonna, maybe it makes more sense to put it over here. I think I want to round off this path. No, what's a... There we go, that's a button to round it off. I kind of like forgot how to play this game. Yeah, I think this looks fine. Let's go back inside. We might need to turn the light back on because it might be a bit too low at the moment, but that is something we can decide for ourselves at later. There you go, there's a customization. I think it's fine. I think certainly I could have leaned into retro aesthetic a bit more, but I'm not upset by this because I want to give it a bit of an orange lighting system. Do we need to change this? Not much, but like a soft orange glow. I don't really know if you would. I don't think anything like wind maybe makes sense. And I think we're done. How's that for? Wait, hold on. Did I customize the fan? Because the fan might actually be customizable to be green. There we go. Fit the white and green aesthetic. How's that, Lobo? Is it ready? It's ready. I think it's alright. I think it's not bad indeed. Especially since I've been a bit out of practice, I think, when it comes to Happy in Paradise customizations for a while. Ugh. Stretch. Stretch, stretch. Have a sip of water. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel very tired now for some reason. It's not like it used up a lot of my brain. But at least we still did something a little bit more unique. I don't know if we've done like this layout of rooms before, which is something different. Obviously, I don't think we've done a retro design. We've done retro diner, so you know, that's right. A little bit of uniqueness there is still nice. You look like a, you know, like a Stephen King, an author. Well, I don't know if Stephen King's not an author from the 60s now I think about it, but who's an author from the 60s? I was saying George Orwell. Is that right? He's way older than 60s, isn't he? Hold on. George Orwell. Wasn't he like 1800s or something? No, okay, he was early 1900s. Okay, but still a bit too early. Hold on. Stephen King. Well, maybe he was 60s. Carrie was 74. Okay, you know, not too far off, all things considered. It was more like 70s and 80s. I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 60s. I don't know how we're going to get a good angle for this necessarily, but I guess we'll do it like this. I wonder if we should put a retro filter. It's not really antique. The retro one is just a load of white noise, which is a little bit excessive, I think. But oh, I just want to talk to you, Lobo. I think we donezo. I'm heading back. We got a bit of time. Why don't we? Well, 30 minutes. Do we have a bit of time? Oh yeah, we got a bit of time because we're not going to come back to Happy in Paradise for ages. Let's go collect the wallpapers and floorings, which you've not collected for a while. To eventually, maybe one day we'll hit the maximum rank of Happy in Paradise. Because if you don't know, I believe I'm not at the max rank yet. Because it's based on a point-based system. And the only thing really I have left to do is either I need to start pairing up people, which I'm not going to do, because that's just way too much effort, or I need to start actually collecting the wallpapers and floorings from my previous clients, I think. I don't know if I can actually give you... Can we give it to you if you're not working? We don't know. I remember yours, Hank. Yours is the Peach Temple or whatever. Yours is the Orchestral Choir? Yeah, I remember it. Okay, so we haven't spoken to you yet. It's always nice. A stage rug. Very much centerpiece. Yours is some daycare, I think? Oh, yours is the rock band. My pet is a very weird phrase, I'm going to be honest. I can't remember what Rocco's is. Yours is like an apartment or something? Oh, yours is the dangerous... the site of danger, I remember now. Cleo, yours is a bathroom. Yours is a very early one, I think. Dear darling, I can't believe you said it. She said it, she said it. We can end the series, oh my god. Rodeo. Ah, yours is the haunted... The witchcraft, School of Witchcraft or something like that. It's actually a unique one. Oh, yours is so old. Yours is the vegetable place, isn't it? I remember. I made it take place in a greenhouse? You would absolutely overheat. In fact, if that was a restaurant, but still. Let's have a look, see who else we got around here to collect things from and get our rank up. Gala, you're the... Wow, you were so long ago. You were back when I was like on holiday. You were one of the pre-recorded ones, I remember. You were the Gala's like bank emporium or something. It's actually kind of cool when I look at them. I'm actually kind of impressed by some of my previous designs. Okay, that's probably like enough. Going around the previous ones. Probably. I still can't believe we've not reached max rank yet. And it's all just because we haven't... I'm vehemently refusing to do any partnered customizations. Let me see. New Horizons Happy Home Paradise Calculator. Grade calculator. I'm just curious, you know. How many days? Okay, I guess there's stuff I'll estimate, you know, off camera rather than while recording. So, for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Twitter, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So, until next time, as we run up here. Bye-bye for now.